What's up, gang? Today reacting to She Called Streaming Slavery, video by Hello Yassine Extras. Alright guys, let's see what this is all about, bro. Kinda deep accusations, guys. Let's see. Let's go.
What's poppin', y'all? We actually got an interesting take from, I don't know if legendary is the word because I'm not in the right audience, but when it comes to longevity, she has been here for quite a long time, and that is Quenlin Blackwell. She decided to call
For sure.
streaming digital slavery. So I'm gonna play you guys that clip
But she has been in the game for a minute, bro. I'm pretty sure like pre-Vine days, bro.
first, and then we're gonna get into it.
How do you feel about Twitch? I know you do it sometimes. Is it something that you want to do more?
Let me see how to make this nice. I think I have always said the biggest influencer will be somebody who gives their life to the internet. And that's what streaming is.
I agree with that, bro. It's not really a crazy take, you know? I feel like a lot of people that become the best have to give their all and low-key, like, sell themselves to this shit, dude. You see, like, Conor McGregor all the time, bro, talking about how he has given his life to fighting, bro. And also, like, just how about to see Kai Cenat right now as he's about to start his Mafia on 3, bro. Doing 30 days straight, 24 hours 7, bro. He's giving his life to this shit, bro.
And I respect it down. I think they are the Don Julios of internet creators. Would I ever do it again? No, because it gives a sort of digital slavery vibe to me. And I don't want to be a slave. What?
Weird phrasing, but I kind of understand what she's saying. I appreciate that she's not dissing streamers, you know what I mean? Like, she's saying she has a lot of respect for them, actually, bro, calling them even the Don Julio of this shit, and I'd have to fucking agree with that too. But on the other hand, she knows her boundaries too. She's tried it. It's not like she's just like one of those people that just doesn't like it from afar. She's done it before, but she's just saying, nah, I've done a lot of media, this is just not for me, and I can't hate on that.
That's crazy.
Wait.
I mean, that's a.
I actually agree with her.
Slavery is wild though.
And this was all in part with her complex cover. So for some people that don't have an overview on who this girl is, she's been on the internet since she was in the single digits. I'm talking about years old. Like, I think she was uploading on YouTube and Vine when she was like 10 years old or something, because she's only 24 now. And the first time I had ever seen or heard of her was on Vine maybe 10 years ago. So she did some.
And you gotta respect it too, bro. People have put their lives into this shit, bro. And when you see that, like, they've been grinding on this shit for so long, and they're just not like a one-day succession, like a one-day blow-up, you can't hate on them, you know?
On YouTube, and she also, I think, like, did some stuff. I don't know if she's doing some mainstream stuff now. I think she's going to be in an HBO series. She's done a lot of modeling. That's what she's most known for. But I am a bit.
Me personally, I think she just blew up on my TikTok, bro. Just always seeing her on my feed, though. But she's definitely done her 10,000 hours as a creator, for sure.
Perplexed by individuals like her. They've been able to transition. I don't think of her as a Lele Pons, because Lele Pons at her peak was just explosive when it came to how popular she was. But to get to her point, when she talks about Twitch, she got asked about Streamer University and said, the social experiment, Kai, that's running on society, yes, I've been watching Streamer University. I was very sad that me and Larry didn't get calls from Kai Cenat. So she wanted to be a part of it. So she doesn't look at streaming as a negative. So that's what some people will probably take from that clip.
Exactly.
And then she goes on to say, Kai Cenat is a genius. Anything Kai Cenat does, I bow down. Same with Speed. I love Speed and I love Kai Cenat. And if they would have asked me to be in Streamer University, I would have went. Kai Cenat is a genius. The reason why I think she called it, or she also got asked about music. So to give another take, she said, I think the music industry has been co-opted by non-artists. I think it started off with non-artists. If you think about it, it's always been by non-artists. They're the ones who commercialized it. Other than that, artists used to just play for fun. And if we talk about music being sold,
There's some truth to that, you know what I mean? A lot of these artists now, that's why you're seeing them, a lot of them just coming onto stream now, because they'd love to see that audience too, bro. To have an audience where you just upload something and within a day it instantly has more than just thousands of videos, bro. A lot of artists, that's something that's very envious to them. That's something they would want to have, you know? So it's easy for already established entertainers or social media personalities to now get into music already having that core fan base. Just look at Speed, for example, bro. Speed is not an artist whatsoever. He takes the piss at every song he makes. But if he drops a song, best believe 2 million people are watching that at the least.
Outside of performances, that is quite novel within the past couple of 100 years. Before that, it was performances. You weren't listening to music alone was a foreign concept until recently. And by recently, I mean the past couple of 100 years, maybe even less than 250 years. Because to listen to music, somebody had to be playing the music. And for someone to be playing the music, there had to be at least two people. So it was a communal thing for the most part. But we're not going to get into like a history of music type thing, although I do enjoy looking into that stuff on my own. And then she says, and so it's like nothing is in favor of the artist at all. What do you mean you have 1 billion streams and you can't pay rent? I don't know anybody who's in that situation, but it's hyperbole. Oh my god. And I just don't
I think that's a bit of a reach, bro. I don't see that position either.
Want to do that. And I also don't have a love for music enough to be like, it's okay, I'll get nickels, but I love this tune, so I'm not going to be no musician. So there is fairness here. However, circling back to the streaming point, I agree.
But exactly, this conversation that she's even having, even getting to contemplate whether or not she wants to be a musician, she's not a musician. She has no background in this. But because such she has a big audience, even talking about music is now even a concept that she can think about, you know?
Agree with her, because streamers are slaves to the next big thing. They are slaves to their audience, and they don't even benefit from their biggest moments. Like, for instance, Streamer University is, I'll just give you 3 different streamers who all, it's like, what have you done for me lately is the type of deal with streamers. Like, for instance, let's say you think about a director or a rapper or something. You think about an album and you're like, man, that album. Or a director, you're like, man, that movie. You're not saying like, yo, when's the next one coming out after you finish watching a movie? And you're like, yo, I expect the next one in a couple of days. Like, for instance, when Blackboy Max was streaming every single day and uploading content on multiple platforms for 6 months straight, and he doesn't stream for 1 day, his fans are all saying, man, he failed the challenge. He said he was going to do 365-day challenge. This guy was creating events. He was wilding out. He was going crazy. And this is another thing, is the
Is that a slave though? Really? You know, he's doing this by choice. No one's really forcing him to do this. He's waking up every day, uploading, coming live online on his own will, bro. I would just call this the grind, bro. And I think this is a lot of things that most people do. It's just that they have a day job and it's not themselves doing it. If anything else, I think that's way more being a slave to the system, you know?
seasonality of not a streamer, but every other producer of whether it be content, music, film, is they work hard intensely on a project and then they take some time off, they recoup, and they come back. You can't really do that with streaming. I mean, just the way it's set up. Let's say Blackboy Max. Blackboy Max quitting streaming for a month? His income probably dropped maybe 30%, if not more. That is a huge drop off. Now, granted, a similar thing can be said about YouTube. It may be a bigger drop off. It depends on the type of creator. It depends on a lot of different things.
But that just makes sense and just comes with the territory. If you're getting paid to be on live, when you're not live, of course you're not making that money, you know? As soon as you stop going to work, you're not going to make that money, you know? This is just regular shit.
But for streamers, it's across the board. It's like that. And let me give you just 3 separate events, like I said earlier. Aiden Ross. This guy did a live stream with Donald Trump. Now,
Insane pool, bro. How are you getting trouble on stream? I have no idea, bro. It's actually wild.
regardless of what you think about political figure, a live streamer doing a stream like that is just, it's huge.
Insane.
But it feels like, oh yeah, that's the thing that happened. The gravity of what happened, it doesn't stick. And I think it's because of how frequent streams are expected. Like, for example, iShowSpeed jumped over a car. And not only did he jump over a car, he jumped over a car twice. 2 cars, one after the other. Like, it's mind-blowing. Yet, people are like, oh yeah, I remember he jumped over a car. Because he's just constantly one-upping things. And it's like, you get to a point where, of course, ideas never run out. But I'm just naming you guys 2 things that would have made you, that are just like once-in-a-lifetime things that you can even think of. And then, who's another streamer? I was talking about Kai Cenat, Streamer University. I do think that's had a...
So what's he trying to say? That it's just people are going too far with it, or like everyone's kind of like one-upping one another, so it's just becoming hard to reach that new level? I see his point. I don't really agree with it. I believe people are there not because of Speed jumping off cars or Kai doing, streamer university. I think they kind of fall in love with the character, You fall in love with the streamer, the personality behind the person, and you just really fuck with them, bro. No matter what they do. Even if they did like a desktop stream, I still think that people would still be there just to support them. Maybe that's just my bad take. We'll see.
Longer tail than two of those than those two streams by both I Show Speed and Kai and Aiden Ross, but I think it's because there were more streamers involved with Streamer University, and that's what caused it to have a longer tail. But Streamer University, just the logistics of that, and it happening in a weekend, it's incredible. It's an incredible feat, to say the least. But Mafiathon 2, that was last year, right? That was insane. But like after
We gotta get another Streamer University again, bro. 2026, we need that.
a month or two, people were like, okay, like what's next? Like what's the next event? What's going to happen next? And I think it's because of frequency. Like for example, let's just take the whole catalog of Kanye West. And this is why I think it's a difficult conversation to have when it comes to the quality of a project or an album, because the frequency of dropping can actually harm the perceived quality, because scarcity not always, but usually scarcity makes something more anticipated. Like for instance, if we took Ye's whole catalog and we dropped it for like what is that, 12 projects? I don't know, I'm just saying a random number, and we dropped one each week, by the time you got to 808, people were probably gonna be like, yeah, that's mid. And this is the thing, since the album sits less of a time, there's less time for it to be consumed. By the time he drops the next project, whatever opinion was had about that project, because it's so much little.
It's a good point. It's talking about the curse of frequency. When you're doing something every day, it kind of diminishes the value of it, When you're expecting to, let's say, eat every day, or you have the same meal every day, it stops tasting as good as it would as, say, you're eating rice and beans every day, and then on Friday you eat a steak and you're like, wow, oh my gosh, bro, this steak tastes amazing, bro. But the other dude eating steaks every day is like, oh bro, it's just steak, So I do understand that, the curse of frequency.
So little time between, then they keep that opinion. Like for instance, with Playboy Carti, he dropped Whole Lotta Red and he sat down for a long time. If he dropped another project a month or two after,
and dude, it worked, bro. Cause dude, first hit, dude, Whole Lotta Red came out. People are not fucking with it, bro. But a year and a half later, bro, after that shit marinated for a bit, bro, it's a hard album, a goated album, and I have to say I'm one of them.
the sentiment around Whole Lotta Red, I believe, would not have changed, and people would have still thought it sucked. But he let it sit, and people only had that to go back to, and they kept going back to it. Same thing with movies. If your favorite director dropped that, even if it was that level of a quality of a film, day by day, or like let's say once a month, you would get.
That's why I can't hate on Blackboy Max taking that 1 month break, bro. Just like he said, if he was just there every day, 24/7, just like Kai, bro. Kai's taking a break, and then we have Mafia on 3, bro. We need that urgency. We need him to take a step back for a bit, not just for his mental, but for us to even just miss him a bit,
Get fed up. That's just how we are. It's like eating, even no matter how great a dish is, you will lose your mind if you eat that every single day. Eventually, you're gonna get tired of it. Even like you.
Why is he using all my examples, bro?
Even like depends on certain sugars, but like certain cakes, you may love a cake, but after a while you're like, man, I cannot have any more of this. Please take this away from me. And that's like streaming, except the expectation of streams are way higher, especially now. Like you're constantly competing with these guys, and I think this girl understood, like, yo, I am not built for that, and a lot of people aren't built for that. But the reason why I kind of feel bad for streamers is because.
And then she also knows what she does, dude. What she focuses on, basically TikTok and YouTube. She's set, bro. It's not like she needs to be doing this shit too, and I don't think people should be pressured into going into streaming just because that's the new wave of the new thing to do. If you have your base, if you have your platform, and you're doing good at it, bro, stick in your lane, bro. Don't feel pushed to go into these other platforms if you don't need to.
because you're only as good as your next stream. And as the expectation grows higher for streams, it takes more time to produce. Like the fact that Kai Cenat is able to stream as consistently as he does whilst planning these huge launches, these huge brand deals, and these huge streams and marathons is something I've never seen before. Mr. Beast does it on YouTube, of course, and he's far ahead in schedule, but he's got a gigantic team. Like these guys are performing, but this is another thing. Like Mr. Beast himself, who's not a streamer, he talks about
You gotta compete, bro, and that's just why Kai's the best.
how he's beholden to this huge beast, for lack of a better word, no pun intended, that he's built. So all of these employees, he can't just be like, yo, I'm going to chill out for a couple of months. Are you going to keep paying those salaries? So now you're going to be bleeding. Your income's going to drop. Or are you going to fire all of those people who are reliant on you to make an income? So you're in this position where the beast that you've created, you're stuck with. And that's the situation that these streamers are in. And I do think a lot of them love it. But I do think there are times where they're like, man, there's so much pressure on me. And it's not like once they turn off the stream, they can stop. No, they turn off the stream. Let's say they're streaming just 6 hours a day.
Okay.
They're sleeping 8 hours. So you've already got, what is that? You've got 10 hours left. 8 plus 6. Yeah. You've got 10 hours left. And then what are they doing in that 10 hours? A lot of it is planning the next stream because they're expected to stream tomorrow. There are rarely streamers that succeed that do a stream once a week, which is what I think would be fair, like television series.
And after hearing this, guys, I hope it gives you a new respect for these streamers, bro, because at the end of the day, they're working, bro, and it's a lot of time that they're putting into, dude. It's not like these YouTube videos where you can batch record a bunch of shit and then release them slowly. This is live, bro. If you're doing 5 hours every day, you're basically clocking in, clocking out. Yeah, you're having more fun, you're doing these other things too, but like you don't have as much time as, let's say, music artists. They drop an album, can live life for a good 3 years. Your favorite movie stars have to work for a certain, let's say 9 months out the year. They release that movie. Now they can chill for a bit. This is an everyday thing.
For instance, they would have an episode once a week, but streamers are expected to bring the heat every day. Well, not every streamer, because some people, like for example, like a Shroud, that guy, they just expect them to hop on, play some games, or like a Summit 1G, things like that, even an XQC. But when you set the standard, and that's another thing, when you set a high standard, people hold you to that standard.
Exactly. There's no rules to this shit, bro. No one is forcing you to do a subathon for 30 days, 24 hours, 7, You can also just play your game, log on, log off, stream 3 days a week. No one's forcing you to do this. I guess it's just, where do you want to be? Where do you want to put yourself? How long do you want to work, It's, you make your own rules. You make your own reality.
So people like a Speed, Kai, and Aiden, they're like, okay, man, we get it. And their viewership dips as well. So now you become a slave to the numbers because you're like, damn, I just did an event and I had 150K viewers and now I'm just chilling and I've got 30. I can't stay at 30. I need to do something else to try to up it or at least get back to where I was. And that's where I think she was getting at. But let me know what y'all think about this in the comments. Like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell if you enjoyed. And I'm
Very interesting conversation, very interesting topic. I kind of see what Blackwell is saying. I do agree with her for a lot of these points, bro. I don't think she's just hating on streamers or just hating on the new wave. She's just seeing a point, seeing how the system is treating them, and she's just decided to take a step back, bro. And I don't blame her for that. She does still have her other platforms that she's thriving in, So all we can do is wish her all the best. And till the next, guys. Yo guys, thank you for watching the whole video. You've made it to the end. I just want to thank you guys again for watching it. If you enjoyed yourself, please hit that like button. We're still doing our daily videos, guys, so please hit that subscribe button, turn that noti bell so you know when I've dropped a new video, guys. Until the next, guys, see you. Appreciate y'all.
Amen.